Hello, good morning. Good morning, YouTube world. Good morning, Facebook world. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. No matter where you are, wherever your neck of the woods is, good morning, good day to you as well. So, you guys know that I've been doing my daily State of the Unions here at my house. So, today I want to talk about some of the things I've seen, some of the things that I read. So, first, let's just talk about some of the things that I've seen. So you guys know I was on here yesterday or day before, I'm not certain, talking about just some of the stuff that I've been seeing. If just going to my window, people just driving up down the street, music playing, neighbors somewhat congregating, went to the grocery store. People weren't really practicing a lot of social distancing. There were some people who had masks on, some people had gloves on, but for the most part, a lot of people really not practicing social distancing. And I tell y'all, it almost made me become like, ooh, yesterday. But you know, me being who I am, I'm a researcher, I'm a reader. I'm not about to run up on everybody like, why you out here like this? Why you out here like this? But I am always intrigued by the mindset and the way people think. So I don't know where you guys get your information from. I try to go to reputable sites. Even if I don't agree with the content, I try to go to reputable sites. So one of the sites, or not really a site, but when I read news articles, I always like to look to see where's the source, right? So I read a lot of articles written by scientists and technologists and business people, doctors that are at MIT. If you guys are familiar with MIT, that is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Some of our smartest people have come from MIT. And MIT is also who briefs the White House on what's going on and projections on how it's going to be handled. So just in case you guys are curious, that's where I get my information from. So I was reading two articles by different people from MIT. The first article was written by this gentleman named Gideon somebody, and he says life will never be the same again. And he goes on to talk about, basically, it would make you think that this whole thing is a social experiment. He talks about how we're going to do various waves of shut-ins, you know, maybe a few months on, a couple of months in the house, few months on, a couple of months in the house. And he talks about how it's basically prepping people to get ready for what's to come, right? I mean, it's deep. It's deep. End up finding out some other information about how this is really getting us ready for what they call New World Order. And like I said, I'm not big on conspiracy theories. I study a lot. I read a lot. None of this is anything new to me. A lot of this stuff I started reading about back in about 2007, 2008. So yeah. So that was one article, and just projecting how they're going to get people comfortable with this new way of life, and ultimately getting it to the point that if you do not have this world card or whatever, this world swipe card, I know you people who know the word are like, oh Lord, Revelations, the mark of the beast. But, you know, again, I don't want to get into all of that. You know, I'm just like sharing the information that I've learned about, trying not to carry a bunch of negative or false news back and forth, or try to go to reputable sources. So, yeah, I would think that the people that the White House get their information from is possibly a reputable source. I read another article too that sort of goes back to my main point, which is, why do y'all think so many people are congregating so close together? It's like, oh my God, I don't get y'all. Some might say, well, they have faith. That's possible, right? But I read this article by this sociologist, and I cannot remember for the life of me the name, and maybe when I find out, I'll drop it down in the comments section. But I read this article about this sociologist that talked about third generational families in poverty. So what would that mean? That would mean you, your mom, your grandma, 3 generations of people who lived in poverty have a different reaction to what's going on. And that makes sense, right? So if you've ever struggled, or you've been in poverty, or you've been poor, and you've always dealt with hopelessness day by day, then something like the coronavirus may not really faze you, right? Possibly. So, yeah, I'm growing up in my childhood home, in my childhood neighborhood. And I mean, I thank God that I have a roof over my head. I thank God that I am a homeowner. And, obviously, I wish I could pick my house up and walk it somewhere else in a whole different neighborhood with a whole different set of people with a whole different mindset. But there are a lot of people who deal with poverty. There are a lot of people who they've always struggled. They struggled. Their mom always struggled. Their grandma always struggled. And I noticed that when I go out in my particular community, there's a lot of that going on. It's rampant. And therefore, I am noticing that some of the things that the sociologist stated in their article about the way the minds work, people have always struggled and never had enough, never felt safe, never felt protected. This not going to bother them. So they're not going to respect your personal space. They're not going to stop touching on you or walking up too close to you because their minds don't work like that. And if you really are sensitive to people and what they go through, I suppose it makes sense. I suppose it's shedding light. People say, oh, this is the great equalizer. No, you still up in your mansion with swimming pools and movie theaters. So I don't know if you're going to sell anybody on that yet. However, it definitely sheds light on the state of our union as America, right? It definitely sheds light on that. So yeah, guys, like I said, I never like to take up too much time. I like to keep these videos 5 minutes or less. Oh, I also want to bring up something that one of my sisters in Christ brought to my attention, but I also heard some other people in a group talking about this whole 5G, this low wave frequency technology that they say are making people ill, and they're saying that it gives a lot of the same symptoms as the flu. So I don't know. You guys, like I said, this is just to share information with you, share things that I come across. I don't want to scare anyone. God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So if you need to say that to yourself, touch your head and repeat with me right now. God did not give me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. All right. But in that case, this is been the state of the union here in my life. And again, my name is Miss Sharon, also known as Miss Sunshine Bridges. All right. And feel free to visit me on Facebook at Sharing and Caring with Sharon. If you have a little one at home that would like to get some online reading and tutoring and building on those comprehension and reading fluency skills, be my guest. So again, I am signing out. You guys have an amazing day. I love you. And whoop, my earring was like, enough. I love you and take care of yourself. Bye, y'all.